please welcome Fatima Toor.
So this is a story that I actually read for Muslim Writers Collective. It's a story that I wrote in 2009. I'm a school teacher. I used to teach first grade, and my favorite part was read aloud. So this is my read aloud. Okay, so it's about my childhood. Okay, the preceding elementary years were all a blur. The common, I peed in my pants, threw up in front of my classmates, and clogged up my friend's toilet is nothing out of the ordinary. We've all done it before. Eating halal foods was a complex and almost unsettling part of growing up for me, though. Being a lost child, I never understood how the cafeteria lunch line worked, where the line started, what was inside of this mysterious food serving area, and how children magically came out of this room with a tray full of haram gunk as their source of sustenance for the rest of the school day. The bread on my shami kebab sandwiches, was now moistened and soggy, and the shami kebab itself smelled of the BFG's foul-smelling snozcumbers, or at least described as such, but I was still content with it as long as it was halal and packed specially by my mother, which inevitably made it okay for me to eat. I never bothered to learn how to buy my lunch until that dreadful day of school had come, when I was doomed to go in and discover how lunch was served to school children. I had forgotten my lunchbox that shocking day of school. I was never more hopeful than the day I awaited my father's return to my classroom with my precious moments lunchbox that included the usual cheese doodles, my shami kebab sandwich with a good smear of ketchup, and my Hawaiian punch. I needed my lunch on time so that this nightmare could soon diminish. I had the jitters all day as I obsessively worried about my lunch. What if he wouldn't come on time? What if he comes on time but embarrasses me by speaking Urdu in front of the whole class? Or worse, his English? What if I have to walk in the line of doom into the haunted area of food serving? The good news was my father didn't come, so no one had to hear him attempt to speak English with me. The bad news was that I had no lunch. My nightmare was now my hellish reality. It was time to line up to enter the dark cafeteria I despised so much more on this day. We hadn't walked out of the classroom door yet when tear bullets came shooting out of my large, fear-stricken brown eyes. I sobbed hard and loud so it could be known that Fatima Toor does not eat haram from the cafeteria. I can't eat that food, I moaned, still bawling. I now sounded like the kid version of Fran Drescher from The Nanny. God, I can't stand that voice of hers. It suddenly occurred to me that I was going to be forced into buying haram by these devilish people. These people would never understand, ever. Hot dogs? Miss Holbert asked. No, I howled at her. Okay, what about a simple cheese sandwich? She asked. What part of I eat halal does this woman not understand? At the age of 6, even a cheese sandwich was haram to me because it was something that my mother had not packed. Anything from the cafeteria was stamped hard with the word haram in capital letters. I didn't realize that we were now sitting at our tables and all eyes were on me. The vice principal, a young black man, was talking to me on his mic. Young lady, get off the table and get in line, he proclaimed as best as he could. I didn't understand why I couldn't sit on top of this table, why I couldn't throw this temper tantrum, or why these Satan worshipers were luring me into their foul wrong ways. You can't make me! No! I gagged. The good news was I never had to discover what was hidden behind that awful food serving area, nor did I have to find out what the lunch ladies looked like. The bad news was that someone had presented me with a cheese sandwich. It was white American cheese, but it resembled this round-shaped meat that the kid next to me would eat on occasion, it was bologna. This is haram! Mom, I called out. I took a bite, feeling weary and disgusted as if I were beaten up and humiliated by a team of Nazis. I refused to eat anymore and kept quiet the rest of the day. The only other good news that I had turned into bad news when my father did indeed bring my lunchbox along with my turquoise and pink backpack. He spoke his broken English, but I didn't care at that point. Lunch was over. There was no point in eating my shami kebab sandwich now. I am not the least bit embarrassed by my father anymore. I love his English. It's absolutely adorable, and I think you would also think so. Also, I put a shami kebab recipe. If anybody wants it, just come to me. I have the recipe for shami kebabs.